Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise this morning to ask question 161 listed in today's order paper to the Minister for Education, Heritage and Arts. The Ministry recently launched the National Green Olympiad Competition for primary school students. Can the Minister provide details of this launch and its importance to the students? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister for Education, Heritage and Arts.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank Honourable Singh for asking this question. Earlier on, Honourable Chand from NFP talked about supporting our Honourable Prime Minister's international global effort to champion issues of climate change and what we could do locally to ensure that we provide that leverage and make Fiji an example, Madam Speaker. Also, Madam Speaker, as his party leader I mentioned yesterday about quality of graduates, we continuously look at how we ensure that the graduates coming out of our high school system are not second to any of the graduates from any other comparator jurisdictions, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the National Green Olympiad competition was launched about 3 weeks ago. This competition is affiliated with the international and world-renowned Green Olympiad competition, in which more than 2,000 countries take part annually, Madam Speaker. The Green Olympiad is an initiative of the Energy and Resource Institute of India, which started in 1999 in India as an annual written exam. The project now stretches across all the states and union territories in India and in selected countries abroad. The year 2015 saw participation of nearly 200,000 students from over 2,000 schools from across India and abroad. So it's an international competition dealing with environment and climate change, which I'm going to explain later on, Madam Speaker. And we thought that to coincide with our the Sessional Development Conference that will happen this weekend, Madam Speaker, we decided that we will expose our students to this competition as well, students in primary schools. The National Green Olympiad competition is an online competition that was open to primary school students from years 5 and 8 who had access, 5 to 8, who had access to internet. In this online competition, there were 20 multiple choice questions to be answered in 30 minutes. These questions were woven around environmental issues, the direct linkage to school curriculum, which assesses environmental related knowledge of the students, Madam Speaker. So basically is to test the students' understanding of the environmental knowledge. The questions covered educational topics of climate change, renewable energy, recycling, pollution, food security, biodiversity, conservation, environmental issues, sustainability, and disaster risk reduction. Madam Speaker, the competition took place in 2 categories. On the first category on Wednesday, 17th, week before last, and Thursday, 18th. The 2 levels of challenge were as follows. Level 1 for students from years 5 to 6, and level 2 for students from years 7 and 8. Each participant was given a password and username by the Ministry to take part in the competition. The questions were marked online, so we devised a system on the platform so that we speed up the marking process. Madam Speaker, I'm quite pleased to inform the House that a total of 6,450 students registered and participated in the level 1 exam, and a total of 7,107 students registered and participated in level 2 exam. So, Madam Speaker, we announced 3 weeks ago and gave 1 week time because we're running short of time. We wanted them to have this before this conference that's starting, I believe, today and tomorrow. Honourable Acting Prime Minister will be there to open it. So all the participants of the National Green Olympiad will be eligible for either a certificate of distinction if they get marks or score above 80%, certificate of merit if they get a score between 70 and 80, certificate of participation to all students who are participating in this competition. The certificate of participation and certificate of merit can be generated using the same platform. Students who have scored above 80% will be personally handed a certificate of distinction next week at the formal ceremony, but this week at the conference, the top student will be presenting. This competition is affiliated with the international body, so those students who do this competition and get a certificate of distinction or participation, so they are able to differentiate themselves, Madam Speaker. They can claim that they are part of the global students who have done this, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the importance of the competition is that it raises awareness among school students on environmental issues, Madam Speaker. So you can see, Madam Speaker, a total of about 14,000 students participated. So 14,000 students, Madam Speaker, would set for this exam. Definitely they would have gone and done additional reading. The understanding was that these materials are already covered in our curriculum. That's why we only gave them 1 week's time, Madam Speaker. So our curriculum, the participation in this competition demonstrates that our curriculum includes this material which is internationally utilized by about 2,000 institutions across the world, Madam Speaker. The test examines some key topics which are all contemporary issues affecting global conditions. Consequently, these topics also steer deep areas of discussion in our beloved nation. Therefore, this gives students the chance to enhance their scope of learning on issues of national and global importance, Madam Speaker. The competition instills a sense of responsibility among students, teachers, and the larger community towards Fiji's environment, Madam Speaker. As I alluded on yesterday, as I mentioned yesterday, when a child engages in a competition or any particular event, it's not only the child that participates in that event. It's the child's parents, the community members, the relatives, the teachers, the entire school community gears up and supports the child. So, Madam Speaker, these 14,000 students who prepared, who appeared for this exam, this competition, it's thousands behind them, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this competition educates students about interdependence between human being and the environment and makes them understand that the actions, no matter how small it may be, adds to the human environment effect in total. It encourages students to actively participate in efforts to conserve the environment and help mitigate climate change. It realizes potential of students for national and international leadership as knowledge-based agents of change in the field of energy, environment, and other natural resources and sustainable development. So, Madam Speaker, I'm quite pleased to say, Madam Speaker, and inform the House that the top student, Penyana Vendai, EI student from the St. Joseph, the Walker Primary School, will make a presentation and speak at the Sustainable Development Conference on Friday at 1 p.m., Madam Speaker. And imagine, Madam Speaker, a Year 8 student speaking at this international forum of experts, Madam Speaker. That's what quality is about, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Kaleleweru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Minister mentioned something about participation of schools. What about students who do not have internet access in terms of this competition? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, these are primary schools. Some primary schools are located in the remote areas, and next year when we run this competition, we will look at how we could facilitate access to them to participate in this conference. In this case, please listen. In this case, Madam Speaker, we met the experts a month ago who came down to Fiji to discuss about the Sustainable Development Conference, and they wanted us to quickly run this competition so that the top student chosen could present at the Sustainable Development Conference. So, as throughout the world, Madam Speaker, it is done online, so we adopted that medium, but we would want to, next year, ensure that those students outside in the interior and the maritime division, please listen, please. They are given an opportunity to also participate, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, 14,000 students with a week's notice participated and in this competition. It's an amazing achievement. Thank you.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honorable Nabulubu.
Question, can the Honourable Minister outline in details on the participation of each category of the competition? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank the Honourable Member for asking this question. I gave a general number, about 14,000, but let me give a breakdown, Madam Speaker. In the level 1, which is for years 5 and 6, Madam Speaker, a total of 6,450 students participated in this quiz, in this competition, on Wednesday, 17th. A total of 213 schools took part, Madam Speaker, in this quiz. So out of 700 schools, 213 schools participated. The Neni Sangam school had the most number of students that took part in this quiz. 209 students from Neni Sangam school participated. There were 338 students that got distinction, Madam Speaker. Out of this 6,450 in the category 1, 338 students got distinction, Madam Speaker, which is distinction means scored the mark 80% and above. 1,206 students got merit, Madam Speaker, 70 to 80% mark. The criteria of distinction was 81 to 100, and the criteria for merit was 70 to 80%, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, and a number of students, Madam Speaker, 20 students got 100% mark, Madam Speaker. So the question then would be, how did we select the top student out of the, because 20 students got 100% mark. So then we looked at which student of these 20 completed in the shortest possible time, Madam Speaker, because we needed to select only one student. Madam Speaker, in the second category, level 2, where years 7 and 8 participated, as I said, 7,117 students participated. In this, total of 234 schools took part, participated. And again, Neni Sangam school had the most number of students participating. 216 students participated in this level 2 competition. 985 students got distinction, Madam Speaker. So 985 students got marks between 81 to 100. And 1,875 students got merit, Madam Speaker, got 70%, 70 to 80 mark, Madam Speaker. So you can see, this is within a 1 week period of preparation, Madam Speaker, we were able to achieve this, Madam Speaker. And in this category, also we were able to have a large number of students getting 100 out of 100% mark, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honorable Ndula Kibaraka.
Question had already been asked.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honorable Rocky Iraqi.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. My question, supplementary question is, whilst this is being conducted online for those students that can access online, whether the ministry has whether the ministry can also involve those who cannot access online for participating in this competition on other format prior to this involvement, so that Fiji has domestic environmental issues, whether that can be taken into account also, so that the students have the responsibility also in the various localities in the interior or on the maritime islands. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, that clearly demonstrates that side of the House, they're not listening, they're not here. Just now, Honorable Mika Leweri asked me about how about the students who do not have access to internet, and I answered that question. And now Honorable Member is asking the same question. Madam Speaker, this is how they're wasting parliamentary time.
Honorable Prem Singh.
Given that this initiative is only 3 weeks old, and the success rate, as alluded to by the Minister, that 14,000 students participated, and some came out with distinction, some with merit. Madam Speaker, I believe it was almost an extracurricular activity. My question to the Minister is, could he inform this House whether his ministry will try and link this in the current curriculum with health or science studies, given the fact that there is no environmental subject being taught at primary school level?
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Again, Madam Speaker, if the Honourable Member would have been listening, he would have got the answer to that question. As I said, we gave only 1 week time for this exam to be done. We launched it on 5th of May, and then we had the exam on the other week. So, Madam Speaker, the reason why we did not have to give more than 1 week is because these materials are covered in the basic science subject that they're doing in the primary school. That's why 14,000 students appeared, excellent. Yes, it's covered in the basic science. You can't have every little separate subject. I'm saying that it is covered. It's covered in the basic science course. It's covered in the basic science. That's why we only gave 1 week time for them to prepare. We didn't have to run extra class, additional classes. It's there. It's covered in the syllabus.